Welcome back. Galen,
Hello.
can you teach me?
That's actually the first time I've seen that.
That's amazing.
That was very funny.
I have no idea who had that idea, but I'm so glad they did. That was, we're in pieces here back. But now we're back to our normal, calm, tranquil selves. And we're going to bring you Swidz versus Jarla. Both players still in with a chance of reaching the playoffs, but the loser will be in a world of pain after this one.
Yeah, so Jarla actually messaged me about his match before he had to submit deck list, and he asked me about Bomb Warrior specifically and what I would bring to this kind of tournament, or this week of Grandmasters. And he actually did not listen to any of my advice.
So he didn't want to have the second place deck list. He's like, if this lost, what I'm going to do is ask for the advice, and then I'm just going to do the opposite. So let's have a look at the opposite that Jarla has done. It's exactly the same as all warrior decks. What are you on about?
Well, the big thing is 1 Town Crier, 2 Augmented Alex. Augmented Alex is a card that you want against Mage, and it's not that great in other matchups. It's not bad. Spider Tank is a totally fine Hearthstone card, but there are slightly better options if you aren't playing versus Mage. He does have the 1 Spellbreaker, which I do like. I think that having an answer to stuff like Twilight Drake or Snip Snap is important. But if you look at his secondary deck list especially, he has an anti-warrior list. So there's no there is an Archivist Elysion in his primary deck, but he actually has anti-warrior cards that he puts in for his secondary.
And the tertiary is interesting to me too, because it's not like it's all in at all against Mage. It's just got a nod to Mage.
So like this kind of brings back to the point of maybe there's something where you only run 1-ofs because then your opponent doesn't play around it.
I'm just looking. Swidz is playing Snip Snap, and I know you like it.
Swidz is playing Snip Snap. And his tertiary deck is actually an anti-Mage tertiary. That's something that we saw Tom60229 bring to Las Vegas do very well with in his Mage pool. With double questing adventure, polymorph for the Giants. A Blizzard is just an extra Nova effect, but I don't think we'll really see it in this matchup. I do imagine that a secondary deck will come into play though with double Twilight Drake, double Astromancer, and an Acidic Swamp Ooze.
Style of play is going to be interesting here. Both players known for their control history, really.
Yes.
And so both players will understand the matchup because Jarla's side of it is pretty slow, although he's got the LX because you told him not to.
I give Jarla the edge in this because I agree with you. They're both control warrior experts. I think that what Jarla's playing is much more similar to the style of gameplay that he excels at, whereas Swidz, I think, is taking a big risk with bringing Cyclone Mage. Not that that's a bad thing. I think that, branching out and just trying to be bring an unexpected list is very important to this. I would never put Swidz on Cyclone Mage.
No, and that's a good thing. If you've got to keep mixing it up. That's a big part of this event. And you've also got to stay in your comfort zone as often as you do. I mean, Jarla is... I always think of Jarla as just the world's slowest priest player. He's also one of the best priest players in the world.
Yeah.
So it's a fair trade.
What I'm going to say right now is I had secondhand sadness when Shadow Reaper Anduin rotated out. Because I didn't care about that card, but I knew Jarla, that was his favorite card in the entire game, and when it rotated out, I actually messaged him, "I'm sorry, buddy, Shadow Reaper rotated." And all he did was give me a crying emoji. that actually happened.
Oh, I believe it entirely. I know that he played it to a lot of success over the last year. And this is kind of the closest thing he's now got, which is, you must feel like a bit of a class traitor.
I mean, Jarla is just known for control decks of any kind. I think last format was Conquest, or LHS. You brought multiple classes. And along with his Priest that he was very well known for, he also brought Control Warrior to a lot of tournaments.
And he went long in some of those tournaments. Like, to play his level of concentration with control decks in tournaments last year were 9 rounds of Swiss best of 5. I do not know at the end of a couple of days of that how he was in one piece sometimes. And yet he never looked like he was collapsing at the table or something.
That's something that actually impresses me about Jarla. So I'm just going to use personal experience here. When I go to a tournament that goes long, I feel like the first couple of matches that I play with a hard deck, I do very well at. And then, by the 5th or 6th round of the day, I start making sloppy errors that I know I shouldn't be making, but just due to the fatigue of the format, it keeps happening. With Jarla, I think that just doesn't happen.
It doesn't. Like, he makes mistakes like anybody, but at random intervals, at random times. There's no noticeable difference because of fatigue at any point. And he doesn't make many mistakes either. That's why he's in the Grandmasters and why he did so well last year. But interesting to see Swidz testing himself on every level, really, in Grandmasters. I'm really impressed with the fact he's playing different decks. Obviously, we've heard his English getting better and better week on week, and he's happy to be interviewed.
That's actually pretty impressive.
It's amazing.
When I talked to Swidz last year, it wasn't really like I was talking with him. It was more, brief conversation just because of the level of English. But I really admire him for putting himself out there. We've been having interviews with him and just like reaching that big of an audience.
Yeah,
that's a tough thing to do.
It's fantastic, but it will stand him in very, very good stead for season 2. And again, the play style, the same mentality. I'm going to put myself out there and play style as well and challenge myself. Might mean that season 1, perhaps I miss the playoffs, but no one's going to know what to do about him season 2.
He's taking risks, and I love it.
And he might still make the playoffs. I mean, he's 3-5.
It could happen. He needs to play excellently, and from here on out, but it could definitely still happen.
So what we didn't really talk about, given that the decks are both teched slightly unusually, is who's favoured.
Well, really quickly, with that draw, I think Swidz just put himself in a lot closer of a game. Banana Buffoon gives him just a clean trade on this Acolyte of Pain, denies a lot of value from Jarla. Jarla does have a response with Spellbreaker. Keep that in mind, but that was a great pickup for Swidz.
And now he has a decision to make. I mean, Spellbreaker is the obvious choice, but obviously Militia Commander, and just let the 1/1s happen. They actually are annoying for your opponent if they're trying to play Conjurer's Calling turns.
I would put my bet on Spellbreaker here. I don't think... so Swidz does not have a Twilight Drake in his main deck. The other use to have for Spellbreaker would be if your opponent Frost Nova or Ray of Frost your minions, you could use Spellbreaker on them to push some extra damage. But I don't really think that the game is really getting to that state here. I think Spellbreaker is just higher tempo, and the Silence Battlecry doesn't matter too much.
Stargaze Luna.
Yeah, but Militia Commander answers that anyways.
Sure.
I
mean, my instinct is the same as yours, honestly. Not because it's impactful now, but because it's never going to be impactful. So. And a 4-3 is just a good shape. All the good things you said.
It's quite impactful now, and then we'll get way less impactful as the turns go on. If there's ever a turn for Spellbreaker to be a good card, I actually think it is quite good here.
If Swidz draws a Sorcerer's Apprentice here, in fact, you could have an insane turn.
I find this trade really interesting. I feel like going face might be the actual play. Yes, Swidz does get a banana, but can he just value trade anyways? Is my question. Because he gets to kill the 4-3 with the banana.
Yep.
It's just interesting.
I do feel there's... Because playing style is a thing. I'll go into that in detail another time. It does exist, playing style, because you can't calculate every single part of the decision tree. At some point, play style matters, no matter how some people think it's right and wrong. I do feel that Americans are more likely to go face, and Europeans are more likely to trade, if it's a really close 50-50 style choice.
I think that was true at a certain point, but at least for me last year, it felt like there were so many tour stops that the people that were grinding the circuit kind of all got to know each other very well.
There's a lot of crossover now.
Yes, there's a lot of Europeans that all play together. Fino, Orange, Hunter Ace, Yarla, etc.
But they're playing with you, Muzzy, Saiyan.
Muzzy, Saiyan, Frozen, everyone is like kind of in this just big practice group for these tournaments.
Yeah, it is interesting how sort of 6 or 7 of the people out of 16 are kind of working together a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But because they're in different regions or different things, or they're just willing, like Hunter Ace and Orange, just willing, okay, well, 2 weeks out of 7, unlucky.
Yeah.
And in Viper and Bunny Hopper's case, even more so, they will test together and then just make the decision on their own.
Yeah.
They're still testing the decks together, so like, I want to test this, I want to test this, they're playing the decks through. And I'm not telling you what I'm playing this week, and that's the only hidden information.
That happens a bit in the Americas region too. I'm not really familiar with a lot of the players in Asia Pacific. I just haven't really had a chance to meet them. But I know in the Americas region, people like Firebat, Purple, Zalay, they're all Grandmasters. Just play against each other a lot and prep for a lot of stuff.
And I think that was noticeable last year. The standard of play in Hearthstone just went so much higher over the course of 12 months.
Because you had everyone teaching everyone else.
Yeah, and meeting up and having face-to-face discussions in groups of 3 or 4 people just because they were chilling out together.
Yeah.
And Hearthstone comes up because that's what we do.
It's very true.
But you could see the standard of play going up. Some of the plays that, not just Hunter Ace, but he's a good example of saying you could work them out afterwards and realise they were great plays.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking about is I want to play around Shield Slam. Or not I want to play around Shield Slam, but if Swidz wants to play around Shield Slam, he could do something really crazy like Elemental Invocation, Giant, Ray of Frost, and then banana his Giant. What that means is that, you know, just Hero Power Shield Slam doesn't kill the Giant anymore.
Right.
I see a vision in
This is
display.
I guess this plays around Dynamatic specifically. However, there's also Militia Commander.
Get the impression that
That was weird to me.
doesn't mind. The impression I get from it, rightly or wrongly, is that I've got another Giant. I haven't got anything to do with my Giant right now. I'm just going to throw this out there to stop Jarla actually tempoing me out of the game.
The problem with the other Giant is that it is not a Mountain Giant. It is a Sea Giant.
Right.
And you said earlier Sea Giant, Play Giant, but that's Sea Giant, and it's not going to be in Play Giant.
But if he hadn't done much, he could have just started facing down an army of stuff.
Well, what I wanted to do instead, if I was in Swidz spot, was maybe to be Ray of Frost, the 2/2 down. I still believe that. I believe that is a twin spell. I don't think he's casted it this game. I may have overlooked something, but I do believe that he could have done it twice. Yes, it is a twin spell.
But then you don't have a Ray of Frost anymore.
That's not as important. I mean, yes, when you play your
I'm
cards,
just
you don't
picking
have
on the
them anymore.
reductive style
Yes.
slightly, yeah.
Yes. If you play a Mountain Giant, you don't have a Mountain Giant anymore.
So, Swidz is planning ahead. I'm just going to ignore you, please. To how to win this with Mechathune.
You play a Mechathune, and then you put a Zilliax on top of it.
Every time someone draws Mechathune against Warrior, they try and win with it. So, hey, yeah, let's do it. It never happened.
I've seen it work once or twice.
Yeah, but you play a lot of Warrior.
Yes.
And
Once
you play
or twice
in America.
out of a lot is... Oh, okay. Excuse me. Who finished top 2 at Las Vegas?
I didn't lose a game.
Did you win a game?
No.
There we go.
Top 2 at Las Vegas.
Well,
I mean, that's just going to be the
also,
comeback now until I come top 2 at
Yeah.
like Bucharest.
First place was also America's, so I probably wouldn't have made that reference otherwise.
Yeah. Our time will come. I think it's very likely that the 3 winners are from the 3 regions concerned.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You'll just have more Europeans at the European tour stop and more Asia-Pacific players at the Asia-Pacific tour stop, which is happening in Korea and Romania.
Yeah.
More specifically, Seoul and Bucharest.
Yes.
Seoul will be happening, I believe, in August, and then Romania will be happening later in the year.
Later in the year.
Yes.
Later, yeah. There's been big Hearthstone tournaments in Bucharest before. They had one in like Dracula's Castle the one year. Seem to remember. My coach might have won that one. I could be wrong.
By the way, I just want to point out something. If you are interested in competing in Korea, you have one more weekend to sign up for Open Cups. Check that out on Hearthstone Esports.
Yep.
Yep.
Check it out. Sign up. Have a go. And then there'll be a very short break, and then they'll start qualifiers for Bucharest.
Yes.
And anybody can enter. This is something that I don't think
Open Cups.
a lot of people realise.
Yep.
That if you want to play an Open Cup, you will need a few hours aside if you're going to win it.
Yep.
But that's been cut down a lot now as well.
Yep.
Put a day aside, enter the Open Cup, win the Open Cup, qualify for a Masters Cup.
Win the Masters Cup, qualify for Grandmasters, win the playoffs,
Yeah, I mean,
qualify for
basically, yeah,
Worlds.
you could be here this time in Season 3.
Yep.
It just involves a lot of winning, but it's anyone can do it.
Just a lot of winning. Wow, this is good for Swidz. Kind of getting the card that he wants off the top every single time right now. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What I want to do, what I would suggest Swidz to do is to leave maybe 1 0-mana spell for after the Elemental Invocation.
Yeah. I think he's in play cards because
Play
of
cards that
burning.
are in play, that's way better than the other alternative.
You get to the point where you realise you've messed up
And
the
that's what
vote.
he did. No, that's what he did. No.
Stuff everywhere. What's even happening?
This is great.
Make it stop. Okay, you can have a go now, Jarla. I like that 5-mana card right now. Pretty good at this game, me.
Oh, you want to brawl a board of 7 minions?
Yeah, well, 5 minions. And
Well, it's 7 minions because if it hits an O2, you're very, very, very happy.
I mean, you can play an Elec first and give yourself more chance of winning.
Ooh. I think it gives you more of a chance of losing.
I think you're right.
I do find it interesting that Jarla started with shield block instead of brawl. Maybe there's
Why wouldn't you?
There's a world. Well,
Oh, because you want to brawl and just drop an Elec and have the board.
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
If you hit an O2, maybe that's just the right play. I think that since you have the coin in hand, you don't really need to... Like, maybe you're looking for a shield slam for the Luna if that lives somehow, but you can still go brawl, see what lives, then shield block, coin shield.
Sure, that makes sense. That's interesting. Because it is an automatic thing to draw first. But if there's a situation, like you say there, where if an Aught 2 lives, especially when you really want to get Elec, Wrench Caliber, Last Master Boom down over the next 2 turns. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe he knew he didn't want to play an Elec at any point.
Sure, sure. He might just be saving it for like a Elec Wrench Caliber kind of turn, and then that immediately puts his Blastmaster Boom at 6 bombs.
Yeah, and he didn't have the Wrench Caliber at the time, but even so, he'd be waiting for the NX, I think. That makes sense. So he knew he wasn't going to do that, and that's why he shield blocked.
Got it.
We got there. This is dangerous. Accidents can happen with these 2 sequences for sure. Oh, wow.
It's actually got a bit awkward for Jarla.
Not only has it got awkward, it's got really complicated, because when Blastmaster Boom starts trying to take down a fairly big board, he's going to have to be very precise on that.
The good news for Jarla is that he's at 34 life right now, which means that over 2 turns he'll probably stay alive.
You would think so.
Gonna get slightly bad news that Swidz will hit him for another 2 damage here.
Yeah. I know damage is relevant, but in terms of the current clock, it makes no difference. Obviously, long term, it makes a difference. And Jarla didn't really want to see that bomb go off, but it doesn't matter too much as long as the second one doesn't go.
No, it's fine. He has remember that Augmented Alec was played, so now there's still 3 bombs in Swidz.
That's what I mean. He didn't want to see. He didn't want to see 2 more.
He's totally fine with seeing 1.
1 was fine.
Yeah,
no,
one.
I worded that badly.
It doesn't change really anything.
I wonder.
Yeah, plus, he's still got the weapon up anyway.
Yep. No, I think you totally understood. I was just correcting you for something that you already...
Omega Assembly is going to be interesting next turn if he wants to do that. His health total is going to be getting really dangerous here.
Swidz saw a brawl. If he extends more into the board, I don't really think he gets punished that much. Jarla does have a second brawl in his deck, which is actually a point of contention among people.
Yeah, I realise it's not. I'm not surprised that Jarla has a second brawl in his deck.
Yes.
It's his preferred style of play is to hold and wait.
It's not uncommon to have 2 brawls in your deck. I'd say it's actually common, but it's also common to have 1 instead of 2. It's a card that's not great in the Bomb Warrior Mirror, for example. Brawl is just not super hot.
Yeah, you tend to have like 2 minions all the time.
Ooh, that is a good draw for Jarla right now. That's a way to get back in the game. Blastmaster Boom Warpath. Gonna start with a Mega Assembly.
Mechathune!
Omega Devastator plus Ziliax would have been pretty interesting.
He can put a lot of bombs into the deck. It's not enough, he won't be able to get through.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is there's going to be another 7/7 on Swidz's side. So these are going to have to be some insane bombs for Jarla to stay alive. Swidz is just smiling over there. He knows this game is going pretty great so far.
Yeah, I can't even see beyond. You have to double hit at least one giant for 2 4s, and then something else good's going to have to go away as well.
Jarla just debating on how he places this Wrench Caliber.
Interesting. He's killing this with the Warpath, so there's more chance of the bomb
There's
getting
actually,
lucky on the 8/8.
There's actually a world where Swidz dies. 4 bombs in Swidz's deck.
Oh yeah.
5 go face. That was not it.
As bad a result as Jarla could ever have conceived, but really cool to get rid of the 3/4 with the Warpath first. Give himself maximum chance of hitting those minions, which he did. He just hit them once each for small amounts of damage.
And I think it's kind of expected in this matchup. I think that Bomb Warrior is pretty unfavored versus Cyclone Mage in Game 1. But looking at Jarla's post board, he does add some cards that are very crucial to the matchup. 1 Omega Devastator, 1 Big Game Hunter, 1 Super Collider. So we were talking about this earlier where why is he only running 1 BGH and 1 Super Collider in his deck? And I guess the answer is Swidz will be less likely to play around it, which means that when he draws them, they'll be much better. But it is still pretty interesting to see only 1 BGH, 1 Super Collider. Maybe he's determined that.
Let's just have a quick look at that in graphic form while
Yes.
we're talking about it, just to get through that Jarla's tertiary deck. So yeah, you can make the point with it on the screen much more easily.
Yeah, so we're looking at 1 Super Collider, 1 BGH. Obviously, these cards are great when they land versus Mage. You know, Super Collider is used to beat Mountain Giant plus Conjurer's Calling. You hit one into the other, they both die a lot of the times. You might need a couple minions to clean it up, but it's still very good for you. And then BGH just answers a Mountain Giant by itself or a Sea Giant by itself. I also think the Spellbreaker will line up a bit more nicely against Swidz this time. Swidz is most likely switching to his secondary deck. Wait, have we received confirmation on that?
It is his secondary. He's
okay, so Spellbreaker gets a lot better in Games 2 and Games 3 because it actually answers Twilight Drake very, very well.
And so with that in mind, is there a case for not switching to secondary, or you still have to do it?
I think since you're adding Astromancer and taking out Doomsayer and Frost Nova.
Sure. When you say it like that, yeah. It's just interesting. You are adding a card to your deck that's not particularly great. And that's one of the interesting things about secondary and tertiary decks for me, as opposed to being able to sort of choose from a selection of cards, is you have to make it work. You can't make it up as you go.
Sometimes not everything lines up perfectly.
And that's your fault for not making your deck line up perfectly.
Or it might not even be your fault. Maybe you have like a secondary deck list for, let's say, Mech Hunter, but you're actually playing against Mech Paladin or Pogo Rogue, for example. So suddenly, you know, you're still switching to that. And it's not wrong that you didn't make it perfectly. It's just sometimes you don't have everything in mind. Jarla has a almost 4-keepable hand. In fact, I would say, that is a 1-3-3 and then Dr. Boom. Excellent.
1-3-3-7 hand to me.
Yep. That's how the curve goes. Imagine if Dr. Boom was just a 4-mana card.
A 1-3-3-7 is still better.
Swidz deciding to play Magic Trick turn 1 for unexpected results. We had this conversation earlier. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, now he's got the Wrench Caliber. There's not even any question about whether you want to use coin or not. I think you can.
Yep. Oh, Jarla's hand just got way better. He was looking at going Clockwork and Acolyte, but now he has probably the best follow-up in the game.
And Swidz has absolutely nothing going on. He's going to get absolutely nothing.
What do you mean by that? Unexpected results summons 2 4/4s. Actually, it summons a 2/2 and then 2 4/4s. Khadgar, Millhouse,
and a 0-7.
Ooh, not that one though.
I don't know if that's that bad, because they have to
Actually,
worry about...
it is pretty good.
Do they kill the 0-7, leave the 4-4 up? Boring. Actually, that's all right.
That's not too bad. The 3/3 has to trade with the 2/2, otherwise the Attorney would get value traded.
So because he's now picked up another Clockwork Goblin, he doesn't have to go for the Snip Snap thing, thanks to the fact that Venomize, or whatever it is called, is...
This is actually a surprisingly difficult turn, I have to say.
In the way. One thing's for sure, though, Jarla's going to have the board for a long time, and Dr. Boom's there on 7 to clean up after it all.
Maybe you just play Acolyte of Pain because it trades into the 2/2 very well. The problem with that is then you start giving up to a little bit to Twilight Drake.
Sorry, I've just realised how everyone normally sets up their screens and how Jarla's got his.
He's got the trophy on the left side.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I won this tournament. Do you know what that's from?
I don't, I should. Oh, HEG?
HEG. Yep. He won with the Czech team. Ah, going face with this.
Okay, so kill one of these, I don't mind which.
Yeah, and he also sets up to deal with the Twilight Drake if it comes down. This was the only way that he could do that. Besides playing the Snipsat by itself, but just magnetizing it makes a lot more sense. What year was it that they won HEG? Was it 2017?
The first one, so
22?
I lost track of years because of the way
It
Hearthstone
wasn't
years
2017.
worked.
I think it was 2017.
Yes, it was 2017.
Yes.
2018 was last year. 2017 was the first. There's only been 2 editions.
Yeah, no worries.
So, along with Stan Sipka and Co. Oh
Jarla has the nuts.
Yeah, he just does whatever he likes for the next few turns now.
I think he's looking at getting maybe a Super Collider. I think if he has a Super Collider, Jarla is just happy with his hand. He could draw no cards for the rest of the game and probably still win.
Sure. I understand the point.
I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here.
Yeah, you are just a touch, but I understand the point. The point is made. Yeah. He certainly could win it without drawing any cards for this game. It's actually possible because the hero power keeps you topped up.
Well, you just keep getting, you know, deal 3 and a discover a mech.
Yeah.
I wonder.
That happens every single time.
I love the way things just get sort of more and more straightforward names after a while. Like the lackeys. You just had to call him like 2 damage lackey, spell lackey, doomsayer lackey.
Doomsayer. That's what you call it?
Yeah, that's what it's called, I think.
So you just need to call it whatever 2-drop you want. The Cho lackey.
No, I just call it what it does.
Do you call one that summons an evil cable rat lackey a lackey lackey?
Time runs out on me.
No.
What about one that you play when there's 6 minions in play, so it's never lackey?
That's good.
Yeah.
I was just going to do the throwdown dog interview there, but you throw me out. That was amazing. I've never seen that interview.
That was quite good.
Okay. Jarla has a choice between good things.
The thing that sticks out immediately to me, and I think if I was talking to Zalay, he would slap me, would be Acolyte, trade your 1/1 in Warpath.
That's the thing that hits me straight in the face.
But
And you'd get slapped because you don't actually develop any tempo of any sort. Right?
Zalay is a Grandmaster in the Americas region that I talked to quite a bit, and he kind of came to the conclusion that Warpath is actually very important versus Mage. Often they'll play boards of, you know, Stargazer Luna, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Mirror Image, Mana Cyclone. That's very common.
Yeah.
Warpath is a very good answer to that, and if you don't have it, it suddenly becomes super awkward. You know, you don't really want to be using your Brawl on that kind of board because you need Brawls for the Giants later. The problem is here is it's just so powerful that maybe you just take it anyways.
But kill your thing, make Clockwork Goblin, hit you, gain some armor, isn't the worst turn in the world.
No, it's not. And
So
you got to save that resource for, you know, a potentially disastrous situation.
And not only that, you're saving your Acolyte of Pain with it, so on 9 mana, you might end up having an amazing turn if you haven't won the game by the time you get to 9 mana. Because Swidz has 2 ways of beating you from here, and one is spamming the board that you can't deal with, which you now can. And one is doing the giant thing that it does, which isn't happening anytime soon because you haven't got wide, and he has no minions.
Do you think a Conjurer's Calling is coming out here? Sometimes you get 2 injured Blade Masters. You didn't go for it. Those are 2 4/7s.
Yeah. Sometimes you roll the good things.
Jarla has a decision here whether he wants to shield slam the 2/2 or not. You probably don't, since you have the Blastmaster Boom into Dr. Boom here, shield slam.
Yeah. Yeah, it kills a giant a large percentage of the time.
It's something to consider. I think the argument that it kills a giant a large percent of the time means that
It's a good argument.
yeah.
I like that argument,
argument.
and I'm going to stand by it.
How dare you?
How dare I be an opinionated old man?
Yeah.
You pesky kids. Swidz can do a whole lot of nothing, but can he do something that's relevant?
That giant costs 5 right now. So we could go Elemental Invocation, Giant, Conjurer's Calling. Let me recount that. Yep.
Yeah. He can do so many things, and none of them do anything.
This is interesting.
Runs out on me.
4/7s.
That has the ability of when you draw a beast, you give it +2/+2. I believe it's called Untamed Beastmaster. I could easily be wrong, but I believe it says when you draw a minion that is a beast, give it +2/+2. The beasts in Swidz's deck are Banana Buffoon. Is that a beast?
I don't think so, but it might be.
It's a monkey,
It's a beast.
but I don't think it's a beast. If it's not a beast, that's a bug. But it's not a bug because it's not an insect. So what is it?
Wow. I feel like it could be a beast, but I also feel like you'd see it in some beast hunter builds.
Sure.
If it was that good, because then you get +1/+1 on your other.
Jarla decides to play Dr. Boom over Blastmaster Boom. That's very interesting.
The future is.
Looks like he's wanting the bombs to actually get some damage to face to me.
Yeah, but now it gives Swidz an
Yeah.
opportunity to...
Tools of creation.
This could go very poorly for Jarla if Swidz gets a couple of the bombs.
Behold the tools of creation.
None of the minions Swidz got are mechs.
So I feel that Jarla's play means he definitely wanted to Warpath next turn because of all the 4 health on the board.
Sure, and the way it's panning out is actually quite good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to do the 4 Warpaths before he plays his boom.
Sure.
It can still go wrong. I mean, it's definitely... Your armor is going to vanish, so you'll no longer have a good shield slam, for instance.
Time runs out on me.
He does see things
This
very
actually
clearly
works out.
into the future.
Incredible. Well, so the one thing that Swidz could do is put a banana on his Stargazer Luna to play around that.
Yeah, probably will.
Yeah.
And does.
I don't think that's super obvious, but if you start thinking about what Jarla's best turns are, you come to that conclusion. Swidz, that was an excellent recognition by him.
Also, if Swidz had gone some sort of giant calling somehow,
Okay.
Jarla had double shield slam and 11 armor.
Yeah.
Obviously some of that armor would have gone because he'd be attacked, but...
No, I think Swidz played that turn fantastically.
No, I'm just saying that the turn before Jarla, the way he played it is also very nice.
Sure.
Yeah, Swidz has done this correctly as well.
Although I do think into Giant Conjurer's Calling, you would rather have gone Blastmaster Boom first. You just get more attacks off. It's just way more time going.
I like shield slam Blastmaster on turn 9. Anyway.
That's quite a bit away.
Yeah, it really is. One turn is actually a lot.
So Swidz has some weird plays that he can do, but none of them look too good. I would really like it if Jarla played his Blastmaster Boom at some point.
I think he's intending to do that, but maybe not just yet. Maybe next turn.
I think what he's going to say right now is the Luna Battle Cry doesn't always proc too much. He's just going to give Swidz the extra reload. And this actually comes back to Swidz playing the banana on Luna. Yes, it seems a little bit obvious, but at the same time, it's just like excellent recognition. When you have 30 things that you have to do in a turn, being able to even spot that.
Behold the tools of
quite good.
creation.
And he's...
Hasn't drawn a bomb yet. There we go. There's one bomb.
There you go. Using the caster abilities.
Behold the tools
This
of
Luna has drawn
creation.
so much stuff.
I know.
Behold
ridiculous.
I
the
still feel that
tools
Jarla's
of
in a better
creation.
spot, but it's going to be a lot closer because this Luna has drawn so
Behold
much.
the tools of creation.
Hold those
Behold
tools.
I don't know how
the
Jarla is
tools
gonna
of
win this game now.
creation.
He's going to draw Brawl.
But you don't want to brawl this board.
Well, then he's going to draw something else.
Okay.
I mean, this time around, Blastmaster Boom should
Behold
too
the
full.
Hit things.
tools of creation.
second Warpath. Just, no, not enough.
Second Mana Cyclone being burned as well for Swidz is maybe not what he wanted to see. Conjure's Calling on a Banana Buffoon.
Yeah, you don't want Mage to get this far through their deck because you're not going to fatigue them because they have too much bits and pieces.
Not the best, but still, you just got an extra 3/3 out of that. I think Swidz is fine with that deal.
Yeah, and he looks like he thinks he's going to win now.
I don't know. I feel like this Blastmaster Boom at some point,
All right.
it's still good. It's still good.
Really good. This is so important. I think you put it into the 5-2. Why
But
wouldn't
you
you?
really don't want to. You really want to kill as many minions as possible. Like, it's such a hard decision that you have to make here, because if things go your way, trading into the 1 health minions leaves you with a better board.
So are you going with the damage is done from Luna, so if it stays there another turn, so be it?
Maybe not even that, or like you need it to go your way as favorably as possible, maybe. Jarla says that isn't the case, that he's still okay even if there's like a bunch of things that live.
But if you don't kill the Luna, then the things that die just get replaced so easily.
Yes, yes.
Although with 9 cards left and a full grip
It is
right
interesting,
now,
right?
What to do?
that was
What
really
to
tough. And he actually made the decision quite quick by
Mm-hmm.
Jarla's normal playing speed.
Sure.
So he saw that pretty clearly. Rightly or wrongly, he saw it clearly.
My calculations are
Astromancer
flawless.
for 8 instead of 9.
Yeah, making sure to use a card first.
Have you ever gotten that off of a farm?
No,
Ooh.
because the farm is
That's
a card that
interesting.
I would play in a deck.
If you go Rafam and get Princess Talanji, it's quite
Okay.
good.
Out on
Yeah.
me.
I think even Sottle at that point would admit defeat there and say, yes, that was a good Rafam.
Oh, I'm as obstinate about as Sottle is. I'm afraid.
That's what I'm saying. Even you wouldn't be obstinate about it then.
I might. I'm old enough to be obstinate about whatever I like, young man. Okay, so is that actually a good thing to roll? Like, you don't really want your board
Yes.
fill up with gubbins, but then it's also impossible to remove, which is obviously a good thing.
Well put. You want things that can't be removed. Because Jarla is at 19, and if you kill him, he dies.
Shield slams and super colliders all look pretty handy.
I
But
think that Ziliax Super Collider all face is the play. We put our opponent to 5. There's 2 bombs in his deck. 22% of the time, Swidz just dies. 22.222222
recurring, of course.
recurring. You always push the 1. Lorenzo.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
Always push the one, especially against Mage.
I'm gonna say that I hard disagree with what Jarla did here.
Gotta admit, I like your line, but maybe he thinks he's safer than we think he is.
I think it's more about if you put Swidz at 5, suddenly you just have so many opportunities to actually stay alive. Because what Jarla is very good at is surviving, right?
Yes.
And if you put your opponent to 5, suddenly you give yourself the win condition for just surviving.
Which is just survive.
You know, Jarla should put himself in a spot where he says, okay, this is what I'm best at. Let's make that an actual win condition, right? Because if you survive but don't kill your opponent, at some point, you're not going to have the tools to answer it, no matter how good you are.
I wonder.
I think this was actually a missed opportunity from Jarla to actually capitalize on what he excels at.
Assume the next turn. Oh.
It's such a hard spot, too.
Yeah, there's no point trading any of this lot. You've got yourself into the situation now where you're...
There was some merit to like pinging a 1/1 first, so that a 4/4, if it dies, you get more stuff in play. It's just so unlikely for that to matter.
Runs out on me.
There's a lot of like little things you could do. Doesn't matter. I do like this ordering where he tries to get bombs on his giant before Conjure's Calling.
Wow.
Brawl. That's good, but is it good enough? Swidz is going to get 4 2-2s at minimum. The best case scenario is Jarla's 2-1 lives.
So Brawl, Super Collider have the right things that happen. Is along yeah. This makes it more clear that your suggestion last turn was a thing.
That's
Whoa!
where he can win.
More shall sprout.
Super Collider doesn't do it though.
Super Glider does it over 2 turns. But Swidz has
Swidz now has to,
Kontus,
yeah,
yes.
he has to have 2 bombs, not 1.
What about Spring Rocket off of Hero Power?
These things are irritating. They're far more
I think-
irritating than I thought
Well,
they were.
I think it's a lot easier to win if Swidz only has to draw 1 bomb instead of 2.
Yeah.
When you're putting the game plan, and there's the bomb.
Will there be another one though? No, there's a Tony. That helps. So he would have won the game.
Antonite is drawn for Swidz. That is going to lock out the game if Jarla does not get some form of damage here.
Wow.
Jarla hasn't played as Omega Assembly, I believe. Omega Assembly can find Spring Rocket.
Could get it. 2 damage. Is there anything else that can go face?
Shield block.
Well, let's just redraw.
Maybe we get another turn out of this.
Town Crier. Don't think that's good enough. You're just going to die to double fireball. You do have the hero power, but you've got to kill things as well.
That is not enough armor to stay alive. He needs to kill how much damage off the board? So
6.
Swidz-
6 will kill him. I can't see how he can not do that.
no, I think that Jarla is
GG'd.
GG'd. Swidz takes it in pretty convincing fashion. And I really think that Jarla had an opportunity this game to actually capitalize on the bombs in Swidz's deck that he didn't take.
Yeah, I think so. I think the play you highlighted to me, having seen how it all worked out, just makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this is how the GG. Both players go to 4 and 5, both still in contention. Oh, and the bomb! It doesn't happen. We were thinking he wasn't going to draw it, or just do the wrap, and Jarla goes to 1-all.
We're going to game 3.
Because we did that last time, I thought he wasn't going to do it again.
I called it preemptively.
Both players don't. Yeah, I blame you.
I've been doing this a bit recently. I called the Swidz Psycho versus RDU. I called that a bit preemptively as well.
There is a game 3 after all. That note is incorrect.
My casting is bombing.
Wow. That was a good wrap-up, though. So if he wins this game, you've got a good idea how the close is going to go now, right? Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Basically, I just did the complete wrap-up for how Swidz won, both players go to
yes,
4 and 5,
yes.
all that stuff, and it's 1-all.
Well, now we need to figure it out for Jarla.
I don't want to rehearse 2 of them.
Well, let's get into it.
So will it be Swidz or Jarla? Redeem yourself and tell us who's going to win.
I think that based on last game, even though Jarla won, I'm giving the edge to Swidz. Swidz has been playing confidently. The turn that he went with Luna, just like the entire time that he had that on the field, he pretty much nailed it. You know, you have to make like 20 decisions, and yes, they are off the top of your deck. You're going to play the card, but there's other stuff you have to do afterwards. You know, it can be pretty complicated. I think that Swidz did about 99.9% of it right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that Jarla did miss that. Looks like he missed the trick there where he didn't set up the 1 turn.
Super Collider Face is an advanced Hearthstone play. That's actually why you put it in the deck, to just deal 1 damage to a mage. Yep.
I like the way you're just owning the whole situation with the Super Collider Phase trick before anyone else can get a word in about it. Like, my whole plan was to just rip Gallon apart for that all week, and he just keeps beating me to it.
Self-deprecating humor.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about that. I don't understand humour.
No, I know.
So, I'm losing it. Live on air. It's gone. 1 game apiece. And the game is coming to save us, I believe, at this point. As production has a bit of a laugh at me. Thanks, guys. We're in there. Game number 3. Jarla has Dr. Boom, Mad Genius. Swidz has Mountain Giant.
Giant.
Yeah, I deliberately said that strangely. Basically, what I was trying to say is they've got some of the things that matter.
The Conjurer's calling. Don't say it like that. That just sounds weird.
Conjurer's Calling.
Yeah, don't say it like that.
That's how I say it.
He picks it up. Along with a Luna.
That's a really good hand.
Yeah, Luna's actually pretty hard to deal with if you don't have not Super Glider, Militia Commander.
But if you don't have Sorcerer's Apprentice, Luna's not very good early. Not like in some decks, like the old school tempo decks where you just killed people if Luna stuck to the board for half a turn.
Lorinda, I'm not going to lie, I'm losing my mind a little bit here. You're going to have to help me out.
Okay, this is not the situation you want to be in.
We're
where
playing
I'm
Hearthstone.
helping out Galen.
We're playing Hearthstone.
Right.
I believe Jarla's on Warrior and Swidz is on Mage.
Yes?
Yes.
They're on 1 each.
All right, 2 for 2 right
Swidz
now.
is 3 and 5 and Jarla is 4 and 4. Contrary to what you may have heard a few moments ago.
Yes. It's like we reversed back time, rewinded it.
Reversed back. You wouldn't reverse it forward.
Yeah, reverse back is like, it's not how you do it.
Right. Trying to keep this
You just spin around
together
in a
here.
circle. Jarla picks up a Shield Slam. That's pretty nice for dealing with Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Just a must kill at this point, the Sorcerer's
Yes.
Apprentice, because things can go so horribly wrong with Cyclones next turn?
Awfully wrong.
Okay.
Hero Power Shield Slam from Jarla is pretty much the best answer you can get for this. If you didn't pick it up, I would even be looking at Warpathing to kill the girl. Again, I'm pretty sure Zalay would have yelled at me about that.
Zalay sounds like he yells at you a lot.
Well, I also yell at Zalay a lot.
That's the thing. Sottle used to yell at me a lot, but I couldn't yell back. Because then he'd yell even more, and that'd be the end of that. So I just gave up at yelling at Sottle.
I think Jarla is saying here that he wants to save an answer for Giant if it comes down early.
Yeah, he's managed to create a way to get himself the extra armor to be able to deal with this or a Giant.
You can also, also just deal with the Twilight Drake here.
I mean, you don't want to, but you have to, right?
That is strange to me that Swidz decided to go for Coin Twilight Drake on turn 3.
Because now your Giant is dead for most of the relevant game.
Yeah, I've not seen that before.
So his follow-up play is nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so being fairer, his follow-up play is if Jarla can kill this Drake, playing Luna, it's really hard for Jarla to be able to kill that as well.
I mean, you're looking at giving him Dynamatic now. I think if you'd sequence it differently, you would be playing around Dynamatic. You go 2-4, he gets Shield Slam. You play a Twilight Drake, it's a 4-7. It can't be Dynamatic.
Behold the tools of
He does take
creation.
1 Dynamatic out.
He does take 1 Dynamatic out. That is fair. So it's less likely.
Swidz is going to get to go off. Jarla saying, I've got to give you something, I'm going to give you this. No, I prefer this. I was getting a bit concerned there.
Generally, if they have a card that draws 5 things, you want to kill it.
That's why I was confused. I was getting worried that my Hearthstone knowledge was even more limited than it was 5 minutes ago when I didn't know who had won a game.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
Always interesting to me that cards like Big Game Hunter you put in there because you really want them, but you don't keep them in your opening hand because you hope to draw into them and have a better opening hand.
Hearthstone, a lot of times, is a proactive game. You want to be doing stuff that advances your own game plan. If you keep Big Game Hunter and you just don't get a hand that fits that curve, suddenly your opponent can do stuff that isn't Giant, and you just die. You know, you need the stuff that is proactive before the stuff that's reactive gets good.
How close are we to taking a 1 in 3 brawl here if we are Jarla, which we're not? But if Jarla wanted to take a 1 in 3 brawl... Oh! Now it's more tempting. So Swidz did that to play around Super Collider. But it's opened up a 50-50 brawl.
Dr. Boom costs 7 mana, would be my counterpoint. You rope out the Dr. Boom here.
Yeah.
If you're Jarla, I believe. You're not in danger of dying. You use both Shield Slams, so the armor from it is a lot less relevant. And you also develop your Dr. Boom into a turn where you're not dying. So
You've got to be careful not to go too low, though, because of the menace that is Archmage Antonidas in 2 or 3 turns' time.
Sure. But Anton isn't coming down next turn. And
No, but the health is gone forever.
Here's the thing, is if you lose this brawl, you are dead.
Yes.
Absolutely 100% dead.
Yeah, 50% of this game you lose by losing
If
the
you
brawl.
play Dr. Boom this turn, he hits you in the face, and then you lose the brawl afterwards, you're much more alive. You have answers and outs to that.
So I'm a massive fan of playing Dr. Boom on 7, strangely enough.
Yes.
The one thing I'd be considering also, in addition, is I've got 0 mechs in hand right now, which means that a lot of the ability is taken away.
Sure.
More so even than taking the 17 incoming damage. But
Sure, but even with that in mind, the mechs that you want are Omega Devastator, and the way that Jarla is playing this game, it's actually getting the game to a later stage.
Right.
You know, he's going to get to turn 10 this way instead of, you know, maybe fumbling on turn 9 and just dying.
Seems good. Swidz having a bit of a nothing turn here.
Except hitting his opponent in the face for at least 17 damage.
Yeah, that's good.
But besides that, nothing.
So for no further development.
I think Swidz is totally happy with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you play a couple bananas just to force your opponent in a spot that, you know, some sequencing of mechs doesn't kill your minions.
Yeah, there might be some Super Collider play around. Although you don't,
well,
they take another 7 to their own face.
You see the stat.
Putting these on this one.
In fact, this is really strong of a play from Swidz, I think.
That's where I was going with that. Is this plays out Super Collider perfectly now?
Oh, never mind.
Oh.
In fact, now he loses to Warpath Super Collider.
Yeah.
So this was the exact opposite of perfect. In fact, I would call this terrible. So.
Speak your mind, Galen. Say it how you think it.
That was
unfortunate.
Something.
Interesting.
You just got unlucky.
I think he
if
realized
Swidz
it
on
actually
face
as well.
there, that would have been a wonderful Hearthstone play, and it ends up being like actually.
I got the impression from his reaction that he'd worked out exactly what he was doing, and then in rote mode, not even accidentally, just in rote mode, it's like, not sure what to do.
Yeah.
I know, why aren't I trading this minion? Oh my god, I'm stupid, I should be trading this minion. And then you realise, oh, yeah, I had a really good plan and I didn't follow it. Still,
Swidz is looking pretty unhappy with how this panned out. Jarla has another board clear, showing how powerful Super Collider is in the matchup.
yeah. He still, though, is going to need to pick up some stuff sooner rather than later. Because Swidz currently has
Swidz has given him time.
Yeah.
Swidz is, I would say, out of gas at this point. Yes, he has a Soul Warden that he could maybe Conjurer's Calling, but he wants to kill this 3-2. Man, he just got so punished for how he played that one specific turn.
What to do? What to do?
It's interesting, isn't it? Jarla won the last game despite a potentially medium-sized looking error that we'll find out about later when people start talking on Twitter.
I'm sure someone will tell me, you're wrong.
Yeah. And Swidz has a minuscule, it's not a minuscule error, but
What to
just
do?
I would say it's a massive error.
it's a massive error.
I would
but
say
he
it's absolutely massive.
He knew what he was doing and then just did it wrong.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And that's ultimate punish. Sometimes the game doesn't seem fair.
Time runs out on me.
Against Jarla, against good players, you can't give them any chances to win.
No, definitely not. And I think people underestimate when they're watching at home how much mechanical play, that is to say, just ordering and all that sort of stuff, is really important in Hearthstone.
Jarla's hand is pretty dead. Do you just play your Breaker and your Elec? Where do you even hero power if you do that? That's actually a pretty complicated turn from Jarla as well.
If you play Breaker and Elec, you hero power the minion, I'm pretty sure. So that it can't trade into your things without it dying.
And you're
And if you
avoiding
call
getting value traded. But
if
doesn't
it callings, you take a 50-50 then.
does Swidz not want to go face with the 6/6?
Okay, then.
But he wants to go face, but you've got, and first of all, you've got a roll of 3/1/1s that just kills the remaining 6/3 next turn. Plus, almost any mech in your deck then finishes off the 6/3 next turn. And if he wants to trade, you're fine, because you're the one who needs time right now.
Well, I think if Swidz is always going face and not killing your minions, then wouldn't you rather zap face as well?
No, because I want to kill the minion next turn with the 3/4
But he's going to
that I draw.
Conjurer's Calling it every single time. 2/6 drops.
And then I'm going to brawl and have a 50-50 with the 2 minions I got on board, because I've stopped him from trading into one because I pinged it.
But he's not going to trade into one anyways. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, Jarla only plays 1 minion and pings face, so we'll never know. And that does make sense.
You want to save the Elec for the brawl. You might need it. Astromancer picked up.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I guess you also have to consider as Swidz that Jarla has a Super Collider up, but you can play around that with a bunch of stuff in the middle.
I wonder.
I'd be a little bit cheeky here and say that he might not have spotted that the first time, but you can.
I was looking at something else here. Swidz. I'm wondering if Jarla didn't ping the minion to stop Swidz from going face. Like, Swidz nearly traded to the value. I wonder if Jarla was baiting him into taking the value trade by only playing one minion.
That's the thing. I think versus a good player, they're always going to go face in that spot.
But Jarla's given him a chance to trade by not playing the Elec. Saying, here, take the value trade. It's so lovely. Why don't you take it?
Sure.
I don't know if that's deliberate, but that might have been a bit of a...
bit cheeky, I would say.
Because it looks far more inviting without the Elec alongside it.
That's fair. I find it funny that a Spellbreaker is frozen of all things.
Yeah, unfreeze yourself, Spellbreaker, was so good. All right, good luck, everybody. Pretty important brawl.
Oh, and the best one lives.
Kind of. I mean, yes, but...
Yes. Well, the worst one for Jarla.
Oh! That's such a relevant hero power.
It's relevant if Jarla gets the Omega Assembly off the top. That is a card that he's going to need to win this game. Because could Blastmaster Boom do it as well?
My calculations are flawless.
He's played a Wrench Caliber, but I believe Swidz drew...
Oh, shooty gun.
Well, that's actually pretty bad for Jarla.
Yeah.
That just turns Swidz's pings into 3 damage.
Pretty rough, especially when you've got no good minions.
Just like you.
Likes not to do that.
Yeah, he just elects to get a million cards in his hand.
I guess he's putting the Mana Cyclone in the middle. This makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think Swidz, being the warrior person he is generally going to get the Collider positioning wrong, although obviously that play earlier.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was just a last second.
It was a last second fumble.
Wondering, why am I not trading here? And you don't have time to reprocess the silly thought.
I mean, even from Switz's perspective, the hand is only...
Power of Creation's pretty good pickup.
Yes. In fact, I would say this is actually... this is a great Mana Cyclone. This was an excellent Mana Cyclone. That's lethal. Augmented Elec, Wrench Caliber face.
And it goes bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. In fact, you don't even need to Wrench Caliber face. You could Wrench Caliber the 3/8.
Swidz is looking so happy right now, but he was looking really happy about 15 minutes ago as well.
Yeah.
When he was announced to the world as being the winner of game number 2.
Based on how this is going, unless Jarla goes Augmented Elec, Wrench Caliber face.
Oh, okay. He thinks he's got one more turn, so he's doing it this way. So he gets the extra 1 in. No.
1.
Oh my goodness.
Swidz, I believe, has...
He raises his arms in triumph, he thinks, but he's put his hand over his eyes. Has he miscounted? Has he thought that was guaranteed face or something? They both hit the Elec?
What just happened?
Swidz forgot that didn't just go face.
What just happened?
Swidz thought...
What just happened?
He thought it went
What just
face, and he started cheering and getting excited, and then realised that he's now got to find some more spells.
Happened?
He's going to be fine. He's going to get some cheap spells.
All right, he can ooze.
Doing it.
He can ooze, and Cone of Cold.
Cone of Cold. Well, he's 50-50 at the moment.
He still has a turn. What is going on in this game?
Swidz is having...
What is going
issue.
on?
So, ping face, hit bomb. Jarla's face, he wins this as well. Swidz is all over the place.
And Swidz takes it 2-1. That was a series.
That was exciting.
It was exciting. Maybe not for the right reasons.
There were some interesting plays there in caster parlance. And Swidz, first of all, I thought he'd won, then he thought he'd won, then you thought he'd won, and eventually,
He won.
after we were all wrong a few times, he had actually won. So we were all right all along, and faith is restored in everybody. Come up with some high-tech analysis about what happened on that last turn.
So Swidz, he played his cards, and then he won. And there was nothing else that happened. That
Yeah, I mean, if you said going into that turn that Swidz will win this turn,
I believe it.
you'd have been correct.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat with the man himself about various things that just happened. Hey, Swidz, congratulations.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Cool. First of all, let's get it out of the way. What happened that last turn?
I was sure I had 100% little, but no. I forget the bomb can go to the minion. But
That's-
anyway,
yeah. It worked anyway. Yeah, that's what we guessed. And you were in Vegas last week. Did you have fun? I think you went 6-6, but what did you do in Vegas?
what I did, I tried to win the tournament, but my rogue didn't made what he lost. He lost. So I was sad, but I'm sure he was a good pick.
Did you have
Because
fun?
it was not bad against mage, so
Yeah.
and warrior also. I won against 3 warrior with my rogue, so
Yeah, it was a
I'm,
hard tournament
I'm
to
okay.
pick. And did you have fun for the? Was it different to go back on a tour rather than play from home? So it was more like last year.
Sorry?
Did you enjoy going back like to a live event with regular players and meeting everybody again?
Yeah, it was super cool. I meet all some really good nice guys, so it was super cool.
And we actually had a lot of French players at the Vegas tour stop. How do you like having such an active French community for Hearthstone?
Oula. I don't know.
So there are a lot of French players that play Hearthstone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool that there's such a big scene because a lot of countries don't have that as much.
Yeah. Only Germany have the
Yep.
almost same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same
So-
player. So.
I think you're better than Germany anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll say the
course.
opposite when I talk to Casey. Thank you so much again for joining us, Swidz. It's great to listen to you every week, up to 4 and 5 now. So if we have a couple more interviews with you, you'll be in the playoffs. So hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Bye.
Love to hear Swidz every week. Taking Rogue there, thinking it was a good call, but kept running into Warriors.
Well, he said that the Warrior matchup was actually pretty good.
That's more than one person keeps saying this. You're not one of those people.
I'm not one of those people.
You think that Warrior does well.
Warrior beats it really badly.
Beats it badly or beats it well?
Rogue loses very badly.
I think it loses very well.
Warrior, okay. Gracious
It
losers.
loses really convincingly or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a phrase I love to pick on. So that was Hearthstone Day 2 from the European region. And both Psycho and Pheno getting done over this week around. So we'll be moving on to the Americas region very shortly. We're just going to take a moment to find Language Hacker and Falcone, who we're not even sure if they're in the building anywhere at all. I have not seen them anywhere all day. So if we find them, we'll be back in just a moment and we will come and give you some more Hearthstone.